International Criminal Court Pretrial Chamber 1 grants former President Rodrigo Duterte's request to skip the separate hearing on his detention on Friday, February 27. In a decision dated February 25, the chamber allows Duterte's waiver of his attendance in the hearing, a right granted to suspects in the ICC. According to the chamber, it was appropriate to grant Duterte's request, considering that nothing in the court's legal framework requires the presence of the suspect at the hearing. The defense submitted a new written request on February 23 to inform the court that Duterte does not want to appear on the last day of the confirmation of charges hearing. In this hearing, the pretrial Chamber 1 will review his continued detention, as mandated by Rule 118 of the ICC Rules of Procedure and Evidence. Duterte has been held at the ICC detention facility at The Hague, Netherlands for nearly a year since his arrest on March 11 at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. He had requested for temporary liberty, claiming that he does not pose a threat to victims and witnesses, but this was ultimately denied by the chamber. Hours before the release of the decision on the matter, Office of Public Counsel for Victims Principal Counsel Paulina Macides said the chamber should have compelled Duterte to appear before them. She said it was disappointing because the chamber adjusted the schedule of the confirmation of charges hearing to make it more comfortable throughout the proceedings. She pointed out that it would have been a form of healing for the victims of the drug war after having suffered harm from the killings. The Philippine National Police defends the arrest of 2 protesters following a clash with authorities during the 40th anniversary of the 1986 Edsa People Power Revolution. In a statement on Thursday, February 26, PNP Chief General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. says officers were told to observe maximum tolerance as groups gathered along Edsa on Wednesday, February 25 to mark the 1986 uprising. However, he says police had to act after some protesters allegedly threw stones and disrupted traffic. The arrest of the 2 individuals, reportedly a man and a woman, occurred Wednesday afternoon as groups assembled at the corner of southbound Edsa and Rochester Street. Nartates says police exercise maximum tolerance, but they need to act to restore order when personnel are supposedly physically assaulted or when public safety is at risk. Responding to claims that the arrest infringed on human rights, Nartates affirms that the PNP upholds the public's right to free speech and peaceful assembly. He reminds protesters that their rights end when violence begins, emphasizing that human rights do not cover attacking police or disrupting the public. The 2 individuals taken into custody are charged with direct assault, resisting and disobeying authority, causing public alarm, and violating the Public Assembly Act. Meanwhile, the group San Lakas condemns the arrest of the 2 individuals. According to San Lakas, police attempted to clear up EDSA lanes occupied by the protesters by shoving them into a single lane and the sidewalk. Because of unwarranted and unjustified use of excessive force, the group says protesters resisted by pushing back. They say the 2 individuals were trying to protect others while warding off the pushing and shoving by police. The group also emphasizes that rally organizers met with Eastern Police District officials a day earlier to agree on the orderly conduct of the EDSA march. They note that the lack of a rally permit or the unilateral declaration of EDSA being a no-rally zone does not justify the employment of brute force against civilians. The National Unity Party admits leaning towards not voting for the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte. In a statement late Wednesday night, February 25, NUP says they have taken note of the discussions on Duterte's impeachment. The party says they have not seen the inclusion of new and material evidence that would be different from what was already revealed in past discussions and investigations. Due to this, NUP says they would likely not vote to impeach Duterte. Still, the party says that they will be prepared to assess any new evidence presented. According to the party, they are open to evaluating any evidence that may come out of the hearings. 4 impeachment complaints have been filed against Duterte before the House of Representatives. All 4 were sent to the House Committee on Justice. According to Justice Committee Chairperson Jervil Luistro, they will start deliberating on the sufficiency of the 4 raps in form and substance by Monday, March 2. Almost all of the topics discussed in the 4 impeachment complaints have already been raised in the first set of raps against Duterte. She is facing allegations of betrayal of public trust, bribery, graft and corruption, including the misuse of 612 million pesos in confidential funds. On the other hand, all 4 complaints featured a new factor, the testimony from Ramil Madriaga, Duterte's former aide.